David Benavidez looks really scary in his final workout before facing David Morrell, showing he's locked in and ready to bring the heat. On the other hand, David Morrell is also putting in the work ahead of his showdown with Benavidez, leaving no stone unturned in his training. With a relentless focus, he's sharpening his skills, conditioning, and mindset to match Benavidez's intensity. Morrell knows this fight is crucial, and he's ready to give it everything. As the clash with Morrell approaches, Benavidez is ramping up his training, showcasing his physical strength and mental toughness. The tension between the fighters has been growing, with Benavidez aiming to leave a mark in the ring. His intense preparation shows he's committed to proving he's elite, building excitement for an action-packed battle.
Absolutely packed. Man, before I get in with David Benavidez.
In another interview, Benavidez spoke with fierce confidence, stating that anyone who believes they can defeat him is mistaken. He addressed Morrell's trash talk, admitting it only strengthens his resolve. Benavidez promised to come out swinging, vowing to give no quarter and deliver a brutal beating in the ring.
Yeah, that's real, bro. Honestly, if anybody thinks that they can beat me, then we got beef. It's you, whoever's on your team, because that's how it is. At the end of the day, we're in a fight anyways. So for David Morrell, you know, he's talking all that shit, saying to do that. That excels the flame even more. You know what I mean? And especially him trying to disrespect me, saying, you know, it's definitely real. It's 100% real. I'm going in, I'm trying to break his face. I'm not lying about that at all. That's exactly what I'm gonna do. So after the fight is after the fight. Right now, you already know what time it is. It's time to go to war.
Moreover, Jaron Boots Ennis said it's going to be a great fight, calling it a 50-50 or maybe even 60-40 matchup. He believes it's going to be a war right from the start, with both fighters clearly not liking each other. Ennis gives the edge to Benavidez, mainly because of his experience, but he also has respect for Morrell, calling him a great fighter.
Great fight. You know, I think it's like 50-50 or 60-40. You know, it's a great fight. You know, I think, you know, it's going to be a barn burner from the rip. You know, I see that they don't like each other or nothing. So, I mean, we're going to get a war from round one to whenever it ends.
60-40 whose way?
I say Benavidez.
Experience?
Yeah, it's an experience, but Morrell nice. I like Morrell. You know, great fighter. You know, but I think you gotta get an edge to Benavidez.
Shane McGuigan praised David Morrell, calling him exceptional and noting how quickly he's risen in his career. However, he emphasized that Benavidez is a tough challenge, known for his aggressive pace, combination punching, and relentless style. McGuigan thinks Benavidez's pressure will wear Morrell down, even if he takes some hits early on. He also mentioned that Benavidez has a bit more grit, which could be the deciding factor in the fight.
I'm a massive fan of Morrell. I think he's brilliant. What's his acid test? I know he stepped up very, very quickly. But Benavidez is someone that fights at pace, throws combinations, is in your face, can take a shot, he can dig. That slick Cuban style, like, he's going to suffocate that. He's going to suffocate him. Whether it'll be, you know, he'll get pinged about for a few rounds, but I think he'll prevail and get to him. But you know, I'm excited about it. I just think maybe there's a bit more dog in Benavidez.
Eddie Hearn commended David Benavidez for accepting the tough challenge of fighting David Morrell, recognizing Morrell's high ranking among many in the sport. Hearn pointed out that Benavidez didn't have to take this fight, but respects his confidence and determination to prove himself. He believes Benavidez's decision reflects true courage and a commitment to delivering exciting matchups for fans, despite all the hype surrounding him. Hearn hopes other fighters will follow Benavidez's example and take on challenging opponents.
Listen, I'll give massive props to Benavidez because I've rated Morrell very highly for a long time. In Los Angeles, I got to watch him up close and I really wasn't impressed with what I saw, but I just think he had an off night. He's a very good fighter. And Benavidez really doesn't need to be taking that fight, but he is. So listen, big respect to David Benavidez. That's a great fight, and we want to see great fights. I hope there's more fighters like David Benavidez that said, no, I'll back myself. I don't give a fuck about Morrell. I know everyone rates him and he's this Cuban killer. I'll beat him. Get me in with him. Fair play. Well done, David Benavidez.
Coming back to Benavidez, he said that the fight with Morrell is personal for him. He explained that he doesn't like anyone he faces in the ring, and a little trash talk is all it takes to get him fired up. Benavidez mentioned that Morrell has been calling him out for 2 years, and now he's determined to shut him up once and for all.
It's because, like I said, bro, I really don't like anybody who I fight, you know, and it just takes a little bit of trash talk to really get me set off. But he's been talking a lot. He's been calling me out for 2 years, you know what I mean? So it's basically, you know what I mean? I'm gonna shut this guy up.
Benavidez further said that his experience of 11 years in the ring gives him a significant advantage in this fight. He plans to use his skills wisely, focusing on throwing combinations right from the start. Benavidez emphasized that he's not looking for a single knockout punch. Instead, he intends to punish Morrell from every angle, mixing in body shots, headshots, and uppercuts to break him down. He's confident that when he lets his combinations fly, fans will see the best version of him.
You know what I mean? I have way more experience. The fight that did let my emotions get to me was Caleb Plant, but you know, you learn from the experience, and I intend to use my experience to the best of my advantage. This fight, we're gonna do different stuff. We're gonna be throwing combinations off the bat, and as soon as I let my combinations go, you see that the best David Benavidez gets seen. So I'm not looking for one shot. Like I said, I'm gonna punish this dude, and I'm gonna punish him on every angle. Body shots, head shots, you know, uppercuts, whatever it is, I'm gonna punish him.
David Benavidez's final workout before his showdown with David Morrell had fans on edge as he looked absolutely terrifying. His intensity was off the charts, showcasing his strength, focus, and readiness. It's clear Benavidez is fully prepared to bring the heat and dominate in the ring come fight night. On the other hand, David Morrell said this fight has become personal for him, especially after the incident in Miami. He described it as everything to him, seeing it as a pivotal moment in his career. Morrell emphasized that he's fully focused and committed to the fight with nothing holding him back.
Before it's only been, but right now it's personal. After the Miami is personal 100%.
Take us back to the moment in Miami. You tossed the belt at your opponent's head. Things kind of boiled over. What does this fight mean to you, and how badly do you want to inflict pain on David Benavidez?
For me, it's everything. You know, it's the first door to my career, for the open, for the, you know, for the everything. You know, I come here and focus. I come here and focus 100%. So I don't have nothing.
Moreover, Tim Bradley believes David Morrell still needs more experience, noting that he wasn't impressed with Morrell's last performance. He feels Benavidez has the advantage, as he's not just a pressure fighter but also capable of boxing and moving when necessary. Bradley thinks Morrell will struggle against Benavidez's versatility, as the former champion can do a bit of everything in the ring, making him a tough opponent for Morrell.
I still think Morrell still needs a little bit more seasoning, to be honest with you. I wasn't too fond of his last fight.
It's part of why
I really
I'm
was
Benavidez. Yep.
Yeah, it wasn't too fond. You know, Benavidez can do a little bit of everything. We only see him as being a pressure type of assassin type of guy, you know, throwing quick combinations and really, you know, just stepping on the gas and squashing guys. But, you know, he can move and box if he wants to as well. You know, he can. I've seen him, you know, so he has that degree. So he can do a little bit of everything in there, which makes me believe that, you know, Morrell's gonna struggle against that.
Fraser Clark is thrilled about the upcoming showdown between David Benavidez and David Morrell, describing it as an exciting clash he'd love to witness live. Although he hasn't started training yet, Clark is considering attending the event. He's consistently impressed by Benavidez's skills and heard from someone who trained with him a few years back, describing Benavidez as a standout fighter. While he acknowledges both are highly skilled, Clark believes Benavidez has the edge.
I think it's a rocket of a fight, that is, you know. It's one of them. I wish I could go watch that live, you know, because I think that's going to be a good tear up, you know. And, you know, saying that, we're still in January, I'm not going into camp yet. I might have to make an appearance for that one. That's going to be a bolter. I think Benavidez, just because every time I watch him, I get more impressed with him. Do you know what I mean? And then I spoke to someone who was in the gym with him a few years ago and just said he's just a different animal. was saying that. Oh, again, these 50-50 fights, they're so hard to call, do you know what I mean? But I'm going to go with Benavidez.
Carl Frampton also praised the fight, calling it an excellent matchup and highlighting how exciting it is for the sport of boxing. He noted how the sport is thriving right now with so many high-profile bouts. Frampton expressed his strong confidence in Benavidez, stating it's difficult to overlook him as the favorite heading into the fight.
Great fight as well, really good fight. It's great to see this, isn't it? I mean, boxing's flying at the minute, but I really rate Benavidez. Hard to look past him, that one for me.
In an interview with Andre Ward, David Benavidez said he's going into the fight with David Morrell focused on delivering a great performance, with the goal of knocking him out. While he's unsure if he'll get the knockout, Benavidez is determined to beat Morrell and will look to hurt him in every round. When asked if Morrell will stand and trade punches or try to move around, Benavidez believes Morrell will start by boxing and moving, but he's ready to pressure him into a firefight if needed. He's fully prepared to cut the distance. David Benavidez predicted that his fight against Morrell will go just like his previous ones, as he feels he's in the best mental, emotional, and physical shape of his life. He emphasized the hard work he's put in, knowing that he improves with every fight. Benavidez is confident in his ability to control the rounds and execute a championship-level performance, saying he's ready to show that on Saturday night.
Yeah, because now this fight, mentally, emotionally, and physically, I'm at the best stage of my life. You know what I mean? And I've been working extremely hard, and I know I get better and better by every fight, and now this fight is no different. I know exactly what I could do. I know how to work the rounds, and I know how to work a championship fight, and this is what I'm going to do this Saturday.
Darren Barker pointed out that David Morrell has a lot to prove after his recent performances, noting that this fight with Benavidez is the perfect opportunity for Morrell to show his best. He called it an exciting matchup between two top rising stars in boxing, with both having the potential to become major names. Barker emphasized that there's a lot on the line, and this fight has the ingredients to be a memorable classic.
Morrell's really got a point to prove. Didn't look good in LA, did he? But this is, if you're ever gonna bring your A game to a fight, it's against Benavidez. It really is. It's a cracker. It's a cracker. It's a fantastic fight. Two of the best upcoming fighters, I think you could say, two fighters that could be making a case for them being one of the big stars, one of the big faces of boxing this year, next year, and for a few years to come. So an awful lot on the line, a big responsibility on both of their shoulders, but stylistically I think this gels, and it won't take long for this to really catch fire and be a classic.
Mark Ramsey expressed that predicting the outcome of the Benavidez versus Morrell fight is difficult. While Benavidez's physical power and speed are undeniable, Morrell hasn't yet faced a fighter of Benavidez's caliber. Ramsey is eager to see how Morrell handles the pressure and whether he can deliver when it counts, making the fight even more intriguing.
It's a real good fight. It's a real good fight. It's a hard fight to predict because we don't know yet how good is Morrell exactly. I think we have a very clear idea who's Benavidez. He's physically strong, he can be fast. You have tendency to gas out in the second part of the fight. Like, we know we have a big picture of who he is. In terms of Morrell, I think a lot of things that we need to know, like under pressure, never fight a guy's the quality of Benavidez yet, and we will see if he crack under pressure or if he still can fight. This is very interesting fight.
Joe Gallagher recognized David Morrell as a talented fighter with impressive Cuban boxing skills and knockout power. While he respects Morrell's abilities, Gallagher feels that Benavidez's speed, experience, and the significance of the fight will likely give him the upper hand. He acknowledged that Morrell is a tough opponent, but believes Benavidez's overall strengths could be the key to victory.
Morrell's a very good fighter. He's been around a very long time, not had many fights, but come through well. Good Cuban, good puncher, and Benavidez. And that's a good test for Benavidez. And for you're seeing he isn't in awe of Benavidez. Morrell, he's a very good fighter, good puncher, but I just think Benavidez' speed of hand and the occasion and that experience most probably give him the upper hand in that fight.
However, Robert Garcia spoke about the upcoming fight between David Benavidez and David Morrell, calling it a must-watch showdown. He emphasized that these are the kinds of matchups fans want to see. Garcia highlighted that while Benavidez and Morrell are both moving up in weight to chase bigger opportunities, this fight is what boxing needs. He mentioned that while there aren't many big names for fighters at lighter divisions like 115 and 118 pounds, this clash between two powerful fighters at a higher weight is exactly what the sport needs.
Benavidez, Morrell. How does that fight go?
It's gonna be sick. See, those are the fights that need to happen, man. Those are the fights that the world wants to see. You know, I was talking about Bam, but there's no big names for Bam at 115, 118, maybe a couple, 122, maybe one day, 3 years from now. But Benavidez, you know, and Morrell, they both move up to a division where they're chasing the big fights and now they're fighting each other. That's just fucking badass, man. That's gonna be a sick ass fight. Can't wait for that one.
Garcia also shared his thoughts on how the fight could play out, admitting it's tough to pick a winner. Both fighters have incredible power and aggression, which makes the matchup thrilling. While Garcia respects Morrell's skills, he ultimately favors Benavidez, calling him the likely winner of the fight. Regardless of the outcome, Garcia is excited about the matchup.
Both they're gonna put up a bad fight, right? I don't know, man. It's a hard pick, but I'm going with Benavidez, definitely.
Mexico.
Definitely have to go with Benavidez, but it'll be a bad fight. Yeah. I'm glad they're doing it. See, they're showing everybody else, you know, that the fights could, you know, they need to happen. We need to see them.
Caleb Plant shared his thoughts on the upcoming fight between David Benavidez and David Morrell, noting that the fight is a big one due to their contrasting styles. Plant pointed out that Benavidez is very aggressive and puts his punches together well, while Morrell, though also skilled, is a bit more crafty and passive in his approach. Plant acknowledged that both fighters bring something unique to the table.
You know, their styles are different. Southpaw, right-handed, you know, one puts their punches together very well, and so does David Morrell, but he's a little more crafty. Well, he's a little more maybe passive in his approach, you know, I'll say that. And but that's a big fight, you know, that's one I'm excited for. So.
Dave Coldwell referred to the Benavidez versus Morrell fight as a potential hidden classic, encouraging fans to check out Morrell's past fights on YouTube, praising his exceptional talent. Coldwell highlighted that both fighters have excelled at super middleweight, with Morrell showing great skills in the division. However, he noted that Morrell's performance at light heavyweight didn't impress as much. Coldwell admitted he's unsure who will win, especially with the change in weight division, but he's eager to see how the fight plays out.
That's a fight that's going to probably endanger going under the radar, but what a good fight. If you don't know who David Morrell is, go and watch him on YouTube. Very, very good fighter. Having said that, both fighters, for me, the best performance has been at super middleweight. Morrell at super middleweight, unbelievable talent. His fighter, I think, he had just had one fight at light heavyweight, and he was like, okay, not the same man. So I don't know, but Morrell's a talent. Benavidez is very, very good, unbelievable fighter. That's just a really good fight. I can't wait. I can't wait to see that fight. Who do I think wins it? Right now, I don't know, because it's the new weight division. I don't know. I'd have to go back and watch a bit more footage of them both.
Leonard Ellerby shared that he expects the fight between David Benavidez and David Morrell to be a thrilling 50-50 contest. He anticipates an intense battle, with both fighters possibly hitting the canvas early on and facing dangerous moments throughout. Ellerby highlighted the back-and-forth nature of the fight, as both are determined to win and make a statement. With the build-up filled with trash talk, he believes the fans will be the true winners, enjoying a memorable, action-packed showdown.
I anticipated this to be a very, very, very 50-50 kind of fight. I expected somebody's gonna hit the canvas, and it probably might be early, and the other person might get hurt in the fight. It's gonna be a lot of ups and downs, ebbs and flows in this particular fight, because both guys really, really want it bad, and want to make a big statement. It's gonna be a lot of trash talking with the build-up. So this is one of those kind of fights that the fans will actually win.
So what are your thoughts on this? Share your thoughts in the comments section, and make sure to subscribe and like if you enjoyed the video.